come on. You have to come up with something creative here. Demacian protective sphere. And then it has nothing to do with anything because, for example, the last spark here, because final spark, sorry. The final spark, the ultimate from Lux, isn't really a spark, it's a laser. Everyone calls it a laser. If they just called it laser, everyone would know what it was. But it's called Final Spark. It was called by the German name by accident. But yeah, they did rename it because they finally found out after about a year and a half that it was the German translation instead of the English one. Yeah, that was pretty funny, but hey, that's the way it goes. No, they kind of messed that up, but then it looked kind of cute, so why not just keep it? Anyway, we are all grouped up here with 5 guys, and we should be able to grab some kills. Come on, there we go, getting 1 kill and not getting the tower, but Alistar is still going for it, even though he is the support here, and he needs to watch out a little bit. Oh, a nice grab there. Wow, Thresh landing an excellent Q, and that just made for an excellent kill. Yeah, Alistar, dude, what are you doing? Look at how much health he lost just because he wanted to tower dive something that was impossible to kill. Anyhow, we are going to go for this. Do these minions also leave their souls? I think so. But that means that as a jungler he might actually do really well, because he's going to get like 50 free souls in the beginning. And yeah, that is of course excellent. That would make for a really easy farm on those souls, because well, getting 50 jungle minions is pretty easy, especially if you're just concerned with your own jungle and don't want to counter jungle. So yeah, the camps like the raids, yeah, 4 souls. That's easy money, basically. I'm not sure how good he would be as a jungler, because he doesn't really have AoE damage. He does have a nice shield, which comes in very useful. I guess the Flay is kind of an AoE damage. Yeah, it is. Anyhow, we have this guy coming in. Yeah, it does give you vision, so that's why you tossed that in. Okay, see? I'm getting my own answers here. Excellent. So yeah, the dragon halfway done, and then they have to abandon it because they did it while they didn't have an advantage, and because of that they now give it away freely to the opponents, and that is kind of stupid. To be honest. Yeah, you never want to do that. You want to leave the dragon until you can actually pick it up. Nice flash there. It wasn't necessary, but yeah, he did it anyway. He has way too much HP for to get nuked down by this guy. But I guess he wanted to be safe and wanted to make sure that he didn't get killed. But yeah, if he just didn't slice and dice through the minions, then he would have been good anyway. And wow, Alistar did all or went through all that trouble to get out, and then gets killed anyway because he ran in the middle of a team fight. And of course, it finally becomes 3 for 1, 4 for 1. Wow. So 4 for 1 trade overall, because obviously these guys were top lane. And yeah, let's see how this guy died, because he is pretty fed. So I don't really understand. Oh, he was okay. He was very low health. And yeah, look at the damage. the damage coming out from Vayne, sorry, was just a little bit too much to handle, and I guess, yeah, I guess he just couldn't take that. So he has Sheen now, the Blitzcrank that is. And Blitzcrank with Sheen of course does a lot of damage to towers and such, because every time you can use a skill, which is pretty often with that Power Fist, because Power Fist 25 mana, 8-second cooldown. Yeah, that is that's a pretty good deal for charging up that mana mune and to trigger the Sheen. Obviously you want to combine that with well, with some other skills. I personally like leveling up Power Fist first if I'm going for the Sheen, because, well, your damage becomes insane. Well, I like Power Fist, that's one. But also your damage becomes insane if you want to push minion waves and towers, because, well, you do need to attack something other than the turret to get the Power Fist off, I think, but I'm not actually sure. So you need to use the Power Fist, attack the tower, and then attack something else to reset the cooldown on the Power Fist. But not reset it, but then the cooldown starts again. But yeah, just triggering the Sheen once already gives you a pretty decent amount of damage on the tower. And look at this, the Ahri actually gets out of that with her ultimate. She got ganked by 3 guys, and now we're going to retaliate here very hard. We're going to get a triple kill really easily. At least I'm assuming this guy is dead. Yeah, there we go. And the other 2 come in as well because they think, oh, there's a low Ahri there and she doesn't have her ultimate anymore. But yeah, you're going to get killed anyway. And only this guy is going to get out. Oh, he might not get out. The flash from oh, no! Oh, so close! Come on! Grab him! Yes! Nicely done. Holy crap, the Blitzcrank almost dying there. The Flash came in and just baited him back in. He should have just ignored the Blitzcrank and just ran away. And that way he would have at least been able to to suicide and maybe even escape. But I'm not actually sure about that last part. So anyhow, we have a large amount of minions here, and I don't know why these souls don't drop. Is there a chance of them dropping souls? Hang on. Yeah, okay. Small minions only sometimes drop a soul. It's really nice that they just put these sometimes in there. So they don't want to give you a percentage, because what if they decide to change it? Then they have to change this text as well. So every champion has this, by the way. All of these skills that have a chance in them just say there is a chance of blah blah blah, unless it's it upgrades with like AP, because then they have to state it. But let's see if we can find another one. No, this guy doesn't have any randomness. Oh, this one has. Oh no, it just says a random enemy. Never mind. Who else has something like that? I don't know. None of these, I think. But yeah, if you have a number that's not damage and, well, only triggers every now and then, it never gives you an actual number. So damage always is described as a number, of course. But yeah, these kind of things, like it only sometimes. So that's how they hotfix it. So it can be like 10% now, but if they want to make it 15% the next patch, they don't even need to tell you that, because it's not described here. So yeah, it doesn't change for us. It's still sometimes. So as you can see, yeah, he got killed. That was kind of obvious. But Blitzcrank does get out for now. And he is going to have to, whoa, get lucky here. Yeah, they do run over this ward, and with, well, nobody reacts to that. Oh. I wanted to say with the Vayne up here, she should be able to pick him off, because she could have come in over here and then cut him off here, because it was obvious that he was running back into the fight. And she just doesn't care. She went all the way back to her tower and now is coming in from behind. Well, from her side, I guess. Yeah, there goes the Blitzcrank. Finally gets killed. He could have gotten killed a lot earlier, obviously, because he was in a very dangerous spot. So is the rest, by the way. But they do have enough damage to at least do something here. And yeah, it's just, it was way too risky what they were doing. And yeah, this guy is going to get owned. Oh, wow, the save. Holy crap. That guy should have died easily. Big mistakes there by Vayne not killing him straight off, because he had 2 stacks of that the silver bolts on him. And yeah, the 2 stacks of silver bolts should have been enough to trigger the 3rd one, but she never triggered the 3rd one. She was too late with the 3rd one and therefore didn't get the true damage off, therefore got killed and didn't get the kill. But yeah, well, sloppy plays all around. That's the way it goes. And yeah, we are really harvesting these souls. 115 now. So yeah, the thing is that if you say it sometimes drops a soul, then you're still not getting the oh, by the way, that makes him yeah, an average jungler, I guess, because if not everything drops a soul, then yeah, you get the point. Anyhow, this still doesn't make for better play. So hang on, what I wanted to make a point. I'm really not here completely. The chance of or if there is a chance of not dropping a soul, or rather, well, if there's not 100% chance of dropping a soul, it means that there's no 100% correlation between, well, there's no correlation at all between the kills that you make, so your skill basically, and the amount of souls you get. The amount of souls you get is just dependent on, well, a chance. And because you don't have to last hit, I mean, it would have been good if they said if a champion last hits a soul, or last hits a minion, then it drops the soul, otherwise it does not. And he's losing 2 souls here. No, he's actually going to pick them up. Nice. But if they would say that last hits result in souls always, and if a minion or tower last hits, then you don't get a soul, that would have been a big difference, because then you would have the skill requirement to get the souls. And yeah, well, that would have made it a skill-based, well, ability then. Anyhow, we're almost done here. At least we should have been almost done. 42 to 23, 10k gold ahead. Yeah, this should be over pretty soon. And yeah, we're going to get a little bit of problems here with all of these champions being here, because it's 3 versus 5. Still, Thresh goes in there, and yeah, he doesn't really do anything. He should have been out there, or out of there, I mean, and so should his 2 teammates, because yeah, they're really just getting killed here for no reason. Varus, what are you doing? He knows there are 5 guys there. 4, I guess. Yes, they lost one. But yeah, he doesn't really care at this point, I guess. He has enough money to kill them. 19 kills, 155 minions. Very good farming on him, I have to say. And unfortunately, 1 versus 3 is still a little bit too much, because obviously he is so dependent on triggering those stacks of I forgot what they're called. Let me look it up. The stacks of no, that's not it. Blighted Quiver. That's what it was. Because that actually does a whole lot of his damage, and obviously you want to trigger those as often as possible. So nicely done. Another kill, another soul. And we are at 125 now. And as you can see, the value of the souls diminishes. I don't know why, because yeah, I guess they tried it out, and they wanted to make that in the early game you get a lot of resists, and then in the later game you get lesser resists. But that means that in the late game, because it already diminishes the amount, well, the effectiveness of armor just by how armor is calculated in this game, the souls in the late game or at some point are just not worth it anymore. Obviously you still want to use them and pick them up, but yeah, it's just not really worth it anymore. Anyhow, whoa, we get killed with 2 of us. I think this should be 2 kills. Well, this should actually be 3 kills, come on. But are they going to let them go? Wow. Oh, Alistar comes in and says, well, I really want to get killed, guys. But yeah, they're not focusing him at all, even though they could have had a really easy kill there. Very nicely done then. I guess, yeah, we lost 1 for 5. That is a pretty acceptable loss. And we are going to get both of the Nexus turrets and the Nexus here before the first one's even up, because that is 12 seconds from now. And that should be good enough to just right click this and get it done. So yeah, everyone's suiciding here and almost getting the kill even. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG. Oh, let me show you the gold. Here's the gold, and we end up with 13.8k gold with wow, the 21 kill guy at 15k gold. So very nicely done. Maximum on the enemy team, obviously 11k gold, and yeah, they owned them very well. So yeah, I'll see you next time. GG.